Hi, I'm Toby Earle with a preview of the coming week's big soap storylines. It probably won't surprise you to learn Phil Mitchell isn't too pleased to see Archie back in EastEnders. The square ain't big enough for the both of them. He's especially unhappy, as will you be, when he finds Archie and Peggy snogging. So, like the man with no name, he drops a bullet in Archie's drink. When Peggy tells Phil she's going to dinner to talk to Archie about a reconciliation, Phil has a showdown with Archie and warns him he'll wind up 6 feet under Epping Forest. Later in the week, Ben realises Phil has disappeared with the gun, so he rushes to the Vic to stop the shootout. When Peggy sees the damage Archie's return is causing, she makes a decision. But to find out what that decision is, you'll have to tune in on Friday. Meanwhile, Stacey won't take no for an answer from Max, who's making headway with Tanya. When he rejects her overtures, again, the crazy minx accuses him of seeing Whitney. Kevin Webster's feeling a touch awkward after his unplanned night of love with Sally in Coronation Street, and he tells Molly it's over. Before she can even draw breath, Tyrone surprises her with a holiday to Tenerife. But it's clear that Kevin is still in lust with the twinkle-eyed shop girl, especially when he reveals that he suggested the holiday to Tyrone. It's the only way to keep temptation at bay. Mind you, Kevin's soon regretting his idea. Claire Peacock's been pretty quiet of late. Her and Ashley's money troubles have meant a lot of nights in watching telly. But they're back rowing this week when Asher P tells her they haven't the money for a trip to Blackpool. But their ruckus ends in near tragedy when she collapses, suffering from what I diagnose as a pulmonary embolism. Will she survive? Calvin's cash woes force him into a desperate situation in Hollyoaks when Ash offers him £1,000 to take part in an illegal street fight with Ravi, who, as we know, could die from one punch to the head. He even prepares for the fight by writing a goodbye letter to his family. Some training might be more advisable though. But before you can say seconds out, it's Calvin who finishes on his backside after Ravi knocks him out and puts him in hospital. Chris, Zach, Archie and Elliot decide to rent the Avissa flat, which feels a bit cramped with all 4 of them in it. The lads soon cheer up when they find 100 grand in the loft, but then they freak that it might belong to a gangster associate of Warren's. Bob hopes in for a shock when Viv gets out of prison early in Emmerdale. You see, just previously, Bob winds up in bed with Jenny. Whoops. So Bob's desperate to keep that quiet from his jailbird wife, who, meanwhile, has discovered Brenda now owns half their businesses. Their muted reunion eventually has an upside later in the week, when they bond over the twins and that old spark returns. Meanwhile, a new family, the Bartons, take over Butler's farm, but they're disturbed when Andy turns up thinking it's still his. Will this shock be the event that hoofs him right over the edge? We'll reveal all next week. Be sure to return for more soap previews, only at whatsontv.co.uk. Keep clicking.